These were the women who seemed to have everything, the wives and lovers of the leaders of Nazi Germany. They enjoyed opulent lifestyles funded by the state, serving as icons of the ideal German woman while quietly exerting significant influence and power. But when their husbands and partners suffered a dramatic fall from power in May 1945, what became of them and their offspring? Were they complicit in their husbands' actions or mere bystanders? Today, we explore the post-war trajectories of Nazi wives and the enduring impact on their lives. Emmy Göring wasn't born into the world of Nazi extravagance. Before the rise of the Third Reich, she carved a successful path as an actress in Weimar, Germany. In 1926, she divorced her fellow actor husband, and soon after, in the early 1930s, her life took a dramatic turn when she met Hermann Göring, the rising star of the Nazi Party. Göring, devastated by the death of his first wife Karin just a year prior, was immediately captivated by Emmy's beauty and social graces. Despite initial hesitation due to their religious differences, Emmy was Protestant, Göring a nominal Catholic. They married in 1935. The lavish wedding ceremony in Berlin stood in stark contrast to the growing repression in Germany. Emmy quickly embraced her new role, becoming known as the First Lady of the Reich. She reveled in the opulent lifestyle her husband's position afforded. Their wealth, much of it ill-gotten, allowed them to amass a collection of luxurious properties, including castles, hunting lodges, and even a replica palace for their daughter Edda. This extravagance was further fueled by art looted from occupied territories and museums, a stark reminder of the suffering inflicted by the Nazi regime. Emmy wasn't simply a silent accessory to her husband's power. She possessed a strong personality and wasn't afraid to express her opinions. Famously, she clashed with Eva Braun, Hitler's longtime companion. Emmy reportedly treated Braun with condescension and disdain, leading to such intense friction that Hitler himself had to intervene and order Göring to ensure his wife treat Braun with respect. Whether this defiance stemmed from genuine moral qualms or a power struggle within the Nazi elite remains a subject of debate. Unlike many Nazi leaders who indulged in extramarital affairs, Göring remained faithful to Emmy. Their only child, Edda, born in 1938 and named after Mussolini's daughter, became the recipient of her parents' unwavering affection and, unfortunately, their extravagant lifestyle. Edda was showered with an abundance of clothes, toys, and lavish playhouses, including a replica of Frederick the Great's palace. This excessive indulgence stands as a chilling symbol of the disconnect between the Nazi elite and the devastating realities of the war they waged. As the tide of the war turned against Germany, Göring's fortunes began to dwindle. His failed attempt to seize power from a weakened Hitler in the war's final days led to his arrest and imprisonment. Emmy and Edda were eventually captured by American forces and interned at a camp in Luxembourg. Göring faced trial at Nuremberg for his war crimes. Emmy, while not directly implicated in the atrocities, was ultimately convicted of being a Nazi sympathizer and sentenced to 1 year in prison. She lost a significant portion of her remaining wealth through denazification processes. After the war, Emmy and Edda struggled to rebuild their lives. Stripped of their former opulence, they moved from place to place before eventually settling in a modest apartment in Munich. Emmy published her autobiography, My Life with Hermann, in 1967, offering a self-serving perspective of her life within the Nazi regime. Whether she ever truly grappled with the horrors her husband perpetrated or the lavish lifestyle built on stolen wealth remains a mystery. Lena Heydrich's story is a chilling example of how seemingly ordinary people can become enmeshed in the machinery of evil. Born into a middle-class family, Lena's path towards becoming the wife of a notorious Nazi leader began with her brother's fervent belief in the Nazi Party. His influence led her to a fateful Nazi rally in 1929, where Hitler's speech ignited her own party allegiance. At the age of 19, while attending a rowing club ball, Lena met the dashing but controversial naval officer, Reinhard Heydrich. Their whirlwind romance led to an engagement, tragically tainted by a scandal that exposed Heydrich's prior involvement with another woman. Dismissed from the Navy due to this transgression, Lena's suggestion proved to be a pivotal moment in history. She encouraged Heydrich to pursue a career within the newly established SS. Heydrich's ambition and ruthless efficiency caught the eye of Heinrich Himmler. leading to his appointment as the head of the SS intelligence service, the Sicherheitsdienst or SD. This meteoric rise within the Nazi hierarchy placed Lina firmly at the center of a regime built on terror. As a reward for Heydrich's dedication to the Nazi cause, Hitler gifted Lina a vast estate in Bohemia. However, this opulent lifestyle came at a horrific price. The estate allegedly housed forced laborers who suffered physical abuse at Lina's hands. These accusations paint a disturbing picture of a woman willing to turn a blind eye to the suffering her husband's actions inflicted. Despite the undeniable role Heydrich played in the Holocaust, Lina managed to escape significant punishment after the war. She was acquitted in denazification proceedings and, through legal battles, secured a pension from the West German government, a decision that sparked outrage. Furthermore, despite being sentenced to life imprisonment in absentia by Czechoslovakia for her wartime crimes, she never served a single day behind bars. Lina's post-war years were marked by a relentless effort to rewrite history. In 1965, she married a Finnish theater director, a move likely motivated by a desire to shed her infamous surname. She even managed her late husband's summer house, turning it into a commercial venture. In 1976, she published a memoir titled Life with a War Criminal, a book that served as a platform to defend Heydrich's reputation, a testament to her unwavering devotion, even in the face of his monstrous crimes. Lena Heydrich remained defiant until her death in 1985. Margaret Himmler's life path took a sharp turn from wartime nurse to wife of one of history's most notorious monsters, Reichsführer SS Heinrich Himmler. Initially driven by a noble calling, Margaret trained as a nurse during World War I, tending to the wounded and saving lives. After the war, she continued her service in a German Red Cross hospital and even managed her own private nursing clinic with the financial backing of her father. Fate, however, intervened in 1927 when Margaret's path crossed with Heinrich Himmler during one of his lecture tours. Heinrich was immediately captivated by her blonde hair and blue eyes. Despite initial hesitation due to their religious differences, Margaret was Protestant, Heinrich a nominal Catholic. They married in July 1928. Their daughter, Gudrun, was born in August 1929. Margaret was no passive observer of her husband's rise within the Nazi Party. She actively joined the party in 1928 and took a prominent role in social circles, organizing gatherings for the wives of high-ranking SS leaders. However, her leadership abilities were called into question. Accounts from the 1938 Nuremberg rally mention disagreements with other SS wives, who collectively refused to follow her lead. Margaret's association with the Red Cross took a dark turn as the Nazi regime expanded. By 1939, she was overseeing Red Cross hospitals throughout Berlin-Brandenburg. This role involved missions to occupied territories under the control of the German Wehrmacht. A chilling entry in her diary from March 1940 documents a trip to Poland, then under German occupation. Margaret's words expose a disturbing lack of empathy, referring to the Jewish population with derogatory terms and expressing disgust at the living conditions. This raises a critical question. Could the wife of the SS leader, deeply entrenched within the Nazi social circles and aware of her husband's growing power, truly be oblivious to the systematic persecution and violence unfolding around her? Margaret's dedication to the Red Cross undoubtedly benefited Himmler's career. Her efforts within the organization are credited with his rise to the rank of colonel. Furthermore, a letter written by Margarete to Heinrich's brother Gebhard in February 1945 reveals her unwavering loyalty and faith in her husband. She praises him for being called to great tasks and expresses that the whole of Germany is looking to him. These sentiments, written just months before the war's end, cast a shadow on Margaret's claims of ignorance. The war's conclusion brought Margaret face to face with the consequences of her association with the Nazi regime. She underwent investigations for her involvement and knowledge of her husband's actions. Margaret vehemently denied any awareness of the atrocities committed by the SS and desperately sought to distance herself from the Nazi Party. However, in 1953, after a prolonged deliberation, she was classified as a profiteer of the Nazi regime. The sentence for her crimes was a light 30 days of penal labor. Additionally, she was stripped of her voting rights and pension. Following her release, Margaret shed her former identity and lived under the pseudonym Margaret Boden until her death in 1967. This choice to live a life shrouded in secrecy suggests a deeper level of awareness about her wartime actions than she ever admitted. Did she ever grapple with the true cost of her husband's great tasks or the horrors the Nazi regime inflicted? Margaret Himmler's story serves as a chilling reminder of the web of complicity that enabled the evils of the Third Reich. While she may not have directly participated in the atrocities, her actions and inactions raise disturbing questions about the depths of her knowledge and the choices she made. Joachim von Ribbentrop, a vain and self-serving man, initially used diplomacy to further Hitler's expansionist goals in the 1930s. However, with the outbreak of war, his role diminished, leaving him to focus on personal enrichment and avoiding the brutal realities of the conflict. Joachim's marriage to Anna Henkel in 1920 was as much about social climbing as love. Anna, the daughter of a wealthy wine producer, provided him with a prestigious social standing he craved. Despite Anna's mother's disapproval, their union produced 5 children. While Joachim cultivated an image of the dashing diplomat, it was Anna who emerged as the power behind the throne. Described as stubborn and headstrong, she reportedly pushed Joachim towards the Nazi Party, even leading Hitler to remark on her domineering personality. Anna, it seemed, wore the trousers in their relationship. As the Nazi regime flourished, the Ribbentrops amassed a fortune. Despite their proximity to the atrocities committed, they enjoyed a life of extravagant luxury, while the world around them descended into chaos. The war's end brought a swift reckoning for Joachim. He was captured in a squalid flat, a far cry from his former opulence. Tried at Nuremberg, he was ultimately hanged for his war crimes. Anna, however, refused to accept responsibility or acknowledge her husband's actions. She was interned at Dachau, the very concentration camp that symbolized the regime they supported. Following her release, she fiercely contested attempts to seize their wealth, claiming much of it originated from family inheritances. Anna remained unrepentant until her death in 1973, a testament to the enduring power of denial. The Ribbentrop story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the ease with which some individuals can turn a blind eye to evil for personal gain. While Anna may not have directly participated in the atrocities, her unwavering support for her husband and her post-war defiance expose a moral bankruptcy as chilling as any war crime.